out to be bigger than what the story is now, you know, like where I'm like the obsessive guy who's in love with her. And
so the $60,000 number was fake.
It's a real account, but it's not.
Why do he got the same shirt on if you try to prove your innocence? You probably seen the thumbnail. We all seen the thumbnail. I swear, I don't know how the shit could be fake after this dude did all of that crazy stuff. I mean, from what we've seen on the internet, it possibly could have been, because you know what I'm saying, that's the first th- that it dead do seem unreal for how much of a simp that dude possibly could have been. But we don't know that. We're gonna find that out today. You know what I'm saying? See what this dude talking about.
Duped, bamboozled, smeckledorfed. Not even a word, yet it accurately describes this situation. We have been lied to. Another example that, no matter how convincing some things may appear on the internet, there's a very good chance it's somehow fake. This whole hoopla with Ruby Rose and the obsessed super fan who spent $60,000 on her OnlyFans in a month, and then had all of his text messages leak with Ruby Rose that were just completely unhinged, just lunacy. Turns out all of it was a coordinated marketing effort from an agency that worked in collaboration with Ruby Rose as well as the man portraying Brandon. It's not real. It was all a ruse. And many of us, myself in a big way, fell for it hook, line, and sinker because, man, did they do a great job with it.
Nah, I didn't purchase none of her OnlyFans content.
Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was all a hoax?
I got in a situation where I just went and took a picture with Ruby Rose, right?
Okay.
I got paid for it. I didn't know exactly what it was for. You know, I think it was like a promo thing or something or whatever the fuck it was, you know?
I did, in my last video covering this, say that there is a chance that it was all staged because it was...
I couldn't believe it, but it do sound like... Okay, he answering that shit for me.
Over the top that it may have been used to drive traffic to Ruby Rose's OnlyFans. I at least had an inkling of a suspicion that that was possible, but I really didn't think anyone would ever agree to play the role that this guy did, the obsessed stalker porn addict. And after watching the interview where he blows the lid off of this, it seems he just didn't know the magnitude of it. They kind of kept him in the dark. And he even did get a real fucking tattoo of Ruby Rose's face that is now permanently on the back of his leg. Which, I mean, that's wild dedication. That's method acting that you won't find many classically trained thespians willing to partake in. So they really found a unicorn here with this guy. What a fucking champion to go through with something like that for the sake of...
Man, this dude went through it all. Now he get... Bro, people was still gonna clown him. Now everybody is gonna hear this information and still be on him, bro. If it's true, bro, I feel bad, man. I feel bad. Because no way, bro. If it is fake, man, Ruby, you gotta come clean and say some stuff, because this is... Yeah, this like a lead or something, man. I'm over here thinking you gotta get a restraining order or something, like...
money to someone that's not him. Now, before fully diving into this complex situation, I want to give a thanks to today's video sponsor.
Big thanks to ROG Ally for sponsoring this video. As a fan of ROG, it was a match made in heaven when they asked if I'd be willing to partner with them for their ROG Holiday Advent Calendar, which includes 24 days of giveaways to share the ROG Ally with all of you. The gift of giving. ROG days and ROG...
show you a couple of clips from that, as well as explain what made this so much more believable than other attempts at similar things in the past.
And I met up with her. I take this picture. Next day, I'm the top. I'm like the fucking OnlyFans top spender. I knew there was like some kind of thing where there was like had to do with the OnlyFans top spender shit, but I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So they made it look like I was her top spender, you know?
So he's saying that he was under the impression that he was just going to take this picture with Ruby Rose and they were going to use it for some kind of promo thing, and then he eventually found out that now all of a sudden he's the OnlyFans top spender, and now he's famous for being a porn-addicted weirdo creep, and he just didn't know exactly what he was getting into here. Now something that's...
Now this actually got me thinking, where is bro at? I'm not talking about him. Talk about the dude on My Addiction. Did he ever conquer that addiction, bro? Like, was it actually a good ending? Because it did lead to a good ending after that. But who knows? Dang, I actually watched that video with my cousin the other day, bro. And they both, it was two people, and they both had good endings. I hope that they, you know what I'm saying? It's 10 years later, 14 years later, bro. Hope they did pursue that jump, man.
Interesting is that even though this guy is coming forward and saying that this was all a bunch of mumbo jumbo, all a calculated marketing effort, there are still people that refuse to believe it. They're going so deep, and I think it's such a testament to the current landscape of the internet, where even when the truth is being revealed, like fully, people just want to live in a fantasy. So what people have concocted here is that all of this is actually the marketing stunt. This guy really did spend 60 grand and more on Ruby Rose, and he's embarrassed and ashamed of it, so he's lying. He's going on this press tour about it in order to try and clear his name. He really did spend all that money. He's lying. He's just trying to cover up his shame with this fairy tale.
And it's crazy because now I'm saying, like, people just love drama so much. They just gonna keep that story going. They were so entertained by those text messages. They were so entertained by this story that they will not accept that it's false. I can see that happening because of how sensitive Gen Z is. Now, I know this have nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, being soft or anything, you know what I'm saying, but if the truth is right there, what else could it be? Like, that's the only thing I could really, like, what?
Smart enough not to fall for it with my galaxy brain. And I find that just so fascinating.
So they didn't fill you in on this beforehand? They didn't say, hey, we have this big idea. This is what we're going to do.
So the
We're gonna
idea
fake
was
this thing."
like, they were like, we're going to use your, I mean, they kind of let me know that I was going to be like this, like one of her like subscribers, I guess, on OnlyFans or something like that, right? I was like, okay, that sounds cool. You know, I didn't know it was going to blow up to this big, huge story. You know, they said it was going to be big. And then, you know, I was like, okay, cool. This is kind of cool, whatever the fuck. I was like, when's the money going to start coming in? You know, like I was like, I want some money out of this.
So they gave him just like the very basic rundown without filling him in on exactly how everything was going to play out, and he was expecting to be paid for it, I guess, over time through this deal, and that clearly was never in the cards. He was literally used as like a whoopee cushion for the internet to fart with, like just someone to dunk on and get Ruby Rose's name out there even more. Now, in my last video where I covered this, I said, like, yes, it's possible, it could be fake, but what would be the gain? Why would you fake this? Not only from his perspective, like, why would you take this role, but from Ruby Rose's perspective, because I just can't imagine who sees this story and is like, oh, wow, this is inspiring. I need to donate money to Ruby Rose. Like, I don't see how that works. I don't know how you take this marketing campaign and turn it into new OnlyFans subscribers for Ruby Rose. I guess it must work to some extent.
You gotta look at it like this. Well, I feel like it's probably like during that whole stuff was happening, it got them other weirdos that be thinking they could probably look at it like, oh my god, if this dude is so hooked on her content, I wonder what she talk about. They go buy her stuff. Like I feel like that would be like the case here. I can't think of anything else. Weirdos would be weirdos, man. They'll look at this whole junk as a turn on. Like, you see that the person that they had played, I don't know who was acting out in them text messages, but for them to act that crazy, he was acting like it was some treasure, some stuff that she was posting on her stuff. When she posting stuff that you'll rather post on, I don't know what she posted, but I know that nowadays, you know what I'm saying? It will be stuff posted on the OnlyFans that will be posted in the on a regular IG. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like, what's the point of buying that if you gonna see the same stuff, bro?
Otherwise, they wouldn't do it, and I'm sure she's made a lot of money from it. But I just don't really get that thought process. Who watches this porn addict, obsessed stalker fan who doesn't stop sending the creepiest text messages ChatGPT can cook up, and then they're like, maybe I need to try. So then they start sending money to Ruby Rose's OnlyFans because of it. Like, I don't really get it, which is why I didn't think that it was super likely that this was fake. But It was, clearly.
But
I feel like it couldn't have been, oh, maybe I need to try. I feel like it might have been more of a mindset where it's like, I genuinely want to see what they talking about. And no, I did not buy that shit. I didn't. I promise you I didn't. I don't do that shit. But that's the only logical way. You got to think how people think, bro. That, like, niggas will actually be curious on what the fuck this nigga is so hooked over this bitch for. She a regular person like you and me, like everybody watching this video. And this nigga, he went to the extremes for OnlyFans. Niggas is gonna be curious of what that shit is. You gotta think, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think.
You're gonna get paid for it. And you're saying that they didn't tell you beforehand that this was gonna be the storyline?
well, I knew there was this OnlyFans and like the person's the top spender, but I didn't know the story was gonna come out to be bigger than what the story is now. You know, like where I'm like the obsessive guy who's in love with her. And
So the $60,000 number was fake.
it's a real account, but it's not.
Why do he got the same shirt on if you try to prove your innocence? You got the same shirt. If I die, delete my browser hit. Now, I was just defending you, bro. I was defending you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. He got the tattoo for money. You know what I'm saying? He could cover up the tattoo. But you could have put a different shirt on. Why do you have the same shirt that you try?
Me.
So he's claiming that the account is real, it just isn't him that did that. Now that's a little interesting because I feel like it's probably just a fake account. Like I don't think there's anybody out there that actually did genuinely send $60,000 to Ruby Rose. If the account is real and that money did get sent to her, I have no doubt it's her own money that was sent to her from her team. Someone on her team made an account and just sent 60 grand of her own money to her. And OnlyFans, of course, is going to take a cut, but I guess they were just going to chalk that up to a marketing expense. Like if the account is real and it's not just a fake Photoshop screenshot or anything, or a faked video, then that's probably what happened. There isn't actually someone there that sent the 60 grand since it's not him.
What's the next thing that's gonna happen? And then I did say we should like get some kind of tattoo going, you know, like I'll get her name or something tattooed on me. I didn't think I was gonna get a portrait
Where's the portrait?
on the back of my leg.
Okay.
So now when that. So first I'm the top spender, and then it comes out to me being, I didn't know I was a Bitcoin billionaire, you know? I mean, I have some money, you know, but I'm not like, what do I think is a good price for the tattoo? Now, I was like saying 15 to 20K, you know?
Now, he really did get an authentic tattoo of Ruby Rose's face firmly planted on his body. Now, he said he asked the team for at least like 15 to 20 grand for it, and then he went on to say like he has some weird tattoos, so it wasn't that big of a deal to him. He even said, like, you know, down the line, if someone asks, he'll just say it was his ex-girlfriend or something. So he, I'm assuming, got paid for that tattoo. He then goes on to say that they never told him about the whole, like, crypto billionaire angle or anything like that. So he went to a weed shop and someone brought it up, and then it started to hit him like, okay, this is kind of a big deal now. So this is where the most important part comes up. To me, where it really sold me on this being a genuine case of a porn addict, obsessed stalker that is sending unreal amounts of money to his fixation, Ruby Rose in this case. This is the most important piece of the puzzle. That true life episode with Brandon in it, the porn addiction episode.
But then also, you were on True Life, fucking porn addiction, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was? And then I looked into that afterwards, but... So,
Were you on True Life porn addiction? Because I saw that too. I saw that there was like
me, does it?
Oh, that wasn't you at all. I saw the
That
picture.
man looked like him, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And I just assumed that it was. Wow, is nothing real? Holy shit.
No, so I mean, so
This is the part that is just actually impressive to me because I would have never expected it. So, what happened is after the Ruby Rose initial post with her top OnlyFans spender, there were some super sleuths online that were doing digging to try and find out more about this individual because at the time he was like a fucking cryptid. This billionaire, you know, wealthy porn addict that's sending all this money to Ruby Rose. This guy was up there like fucking Slender Man, and people were trying to find out more about him. And then a post came and blew up that claimed that this person in the Ruby Rose photo, the #1 OnlyFans spender, is the same person from this True Life episode about porn addiction, and then showed a screenshot. And the guy in the screenshot from that episode, which is what aired in 2009, does look pretty similar to this guy here, if he was aged 14 years in the future. And I went and I watched that goddamn episode, and I really did think that this was the same individual. But it turns out it is apparently not. So, what this means is, this team, Ruby Rose's team, planted that information there in order to sell the authenticity even further. This was one of the core components that convinced me that this was genuine, because you have this episode of a TV show from 2009. This isn't like a fake TV show or a fake screenshot or anything. This was a real episode of a show from 2009 with someone with a porn addiction that does resemble this guy, who is now apparently donating so much money to this OnlyFans creator. It was so thorough. Like, how would they even find someone that looked like him from a show in 2009 about porn addiction? It is the perfect fucking fit.
It was going to be, I didn't even know what was going on. And then I get the tattoo, and then it turns out to be, I'm like some obsessive, like, stalker guy named Brandon, which was the guy on True Life, where he was addicted to porn. And that's why, like, in the messages, it says Brandon OnlyFan creep or some shit. I wake up, I see this post, and it's like the tattoo one, right? And then I'm like seeing all the text messages, and I'm like, I didn't even like read it. Like, I seen some of it, and it seemed like it was really bad, so I like just turned my.
If that shit is true, this nigga heart dropped like a motherfucker watching that shit. He's like, oh my god, oh my god, wait, what the fuck? This isn't me. You what the fuck?
I really can't express enough how much heavy lifting drawing that connection between this guy and that True Life episode from 2009 did for this narrative. It really did make it so much more convincing. Because as I mentioned in the last video, those text messages are so over the top that it almost does feel satirical. But because I was working under the impression that this was the same individual from the True Life episode, it really does track for someone with a mental illness like that, an obsession, a porn addiction. Like, it does check out. So it's... I'm still kind of stunned at the lengths they went to for this. Not because it's super hard to just, like, fake, a story about, hey, my #1 OnlyFans subscriber, and then, like, a fake screenshot of how much money they sent. And then even just, like, a flurry of text messages, you could easily whip that up super quickly. But what is very hard to do is find something that is old and real, the True Life episode, and connect it to something that's happening now. That is what makes it much more difficult. If that component with the True Life episode wasn't there, I probably wouldn't have fallen for this. That was the biggest thing by far. So yeah, wanted to give you the update here because, boy, we've been had with this one. This was a very well put together fucking OnlyFans promotional stunt, I guess.
That is thinking outside the box. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I don't even think that was Ruby Rose with her joint. I feel like that had to be a manager that had to come up with that idea. Oh my God, Ruby. Look, listen to this. If we do this and stage this dude, all these people will come to you. No. Fire that nigga. Fire him. That's the first thing she need to do, because now, well, nigga, I ain't gonna lie. I was worried about Ruby's safety because I thought it was true. But now I'm worried about that nigga's safety, man. Because this niggas that actually hate that shit, bro. They despise niggas like that. I was watching other reaction videos of this nigga, man. And they was reacting, talking about, I spit on niggas like that. That's bad. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was just hoping, when I reacted to that shit, I was just hoping bro got better and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was afraid for Ruby because it, you know what I'm saying, had a whole bunch of shit going on that I ain't really mess with. But now that the tables turn, I don't want nothing to happen to that nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? I have to pray about it. We gonna see, man. But hope y'all enjoyed that reaction. You know what I'm saying? I'll catch y'all niggas on the next one. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Stay iconic.
See the love in the eyes of the kid that was lost and it turned to a rebel. Mama don't give up on me.